Are you tired of tossing and turning, struggling to get a good night's sleep? So you headed over to the health food store to buy yourself some supplements, right? Wrong. I'm Dr. Hamilton Stubbs. I'm a double board certified sleep specialist and a certified nutrition specialist. If you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I hope you will, and don't forget to hit notifications. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm doing a series of talks on sleep hygiene. Today I want to just define sleep hygiene. So if you want to know more about sleep hygiene, what it is, and why sleep specialists suggest that you make it a part of any kind of healthy habits for sleep, stick around. I'm going to share that with you. Sleep hygiene, if you want to think about it as a clock, it's the 24-hour period of time of things that you're doing that are going to either help you stay awake or put you asleep. It's what you're eating, your environment, and your daily activities. They've all been researched, and it's proven that there are certain things that we do that help us to transition into sleep easier, and some things that keep us awake. Now, a lot of people think that they can do certain things like drink coffee right up to bedtime. I've even had patients who take their nighttime medications with green tea. I've seen nutritionists recommend green tea, but green tea has caffeine in it, and caffeine will block the receptors that need to be stimulated for sleepiness. So we need to have a review of what is good sleep hygiene. So why is it important? It's like the obvious thing to do to get some good sleep. And if you have poor sleep hygiene, even if you get your supplements, the most popular one is probably melatonin, it may not work. And that may be why people think melatonin doesn't help them. It could be because they are using it inappropriately. They have another problem that's not properly addressed by melatonin, or they have poor sleep hygiene. Any one of those things could interfere with the slight nudge towards sleepiness that melatonin could give you. So it's important to start with making a environment that's conducive to sleep, and that's going to be your surroundings as well as internal environment. So how do you practice it? You want to establish your bedtime. You're going to have it a certain time you go to bed, but the most important time is the time you want to wake up. Start with that. If you want to wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning and you're an 8-hour sleeper, then you know you need to be in bed around 10 p.m. So start with the time that you want to wake up, count backwards, and that's the time you go to bed. Now, the way you find out if you are a 7, 8, or 9-hour sleeper is by monitoring your sleep with a sleep diary, or you can do this with a sleep tracker. If you don't have a sleep diary, check out my website at drhamiltonstubbs.com and go to the blog, type in diary, and you'll find one with a video and instructions on how to fill that out. Once you have established the time you want to wake up, make sure you stick with that. Fluctuating your time of wake up by more than about 20 or 30 minutes will throw off your biological clock or your circadian rhythms. So have a wake up time and stick with it. You got to make sleep a priority. If you are watching your favorite movies too much, then you're not going to be able to set your clock so that you go to sleep at a certain time and wake up at a certain time. And you have to be careful about your naps. Taking a nap could be a good idea in the early afternoon, sometime between 11 a.m. and 3 p.m., and the nap should be brief, somewhere like 15 to 20 minutes. And this is because if you take it too late in the afternoon, you'll be interfering with the need to go to sleep at night. And if you sleep too long, you'll also be interfering with the need to sleep at night. So now we're going to talk about when you wake up in the morning. When you wake up in the morning, go outside and try to get some sunlight. This is going to turn off melatonin and help you wake up. I really think it's a better idea to wake up naturally without your alarm clock if you can, and you may need to gradually get to that point, and also to wake up without caffeine. Caffeine will stimulate the cortisol level, and it's already high in the morning. Save the caffeine for the afternoons, and then I'm talking early afternoons, and then only drink enough to help you stay awake. So wake up, get yourself some sunshine, start moving, get your morning stretch in, and this is going to help you wake up. Your morning shower, if you can stand a little cold water, that's also going to help you wake up. Make sure you drink some water because sleep is a dehydrating state. So drinking water will help you wake up. And I like to drink filtered, purified mineral water. And then if you are a breakfast person, have your breakfast. And if you're not, that's okay. I don't believe that breakfast is the most important meal of the day, but you may need to have something to eat if that's the schedule that you are on. Some of us are delaying our breakfast a little bit so we can have a little bit longer time between our last meal and our first meal for our gut health. So whichever way you like to do it, then that's your choice. Around 11 o'clock, 12 to 1, you may start to feel a little tired. This is when I think it's okay for you to have a caffeine beverage if that's your choice. Try to make it a healthy beverage just for your overall health. For example, coffee creamers, I don't recommend them unless they don't have things in it ingredients that you just don't recognize. I like to eat unprocessed food, and I do avoid sugar. If you're eating sugar, sugar will cause you to get sleepy. And if you want to stay awake in the afternoon, then it's counterproductive. Eating high carbohydrate meals and sugar in the afternoons will make you sleepy. So if you need to have something to wake you up, a little bit of a caffeine beverage of some type of your choice, a healthy tea, black coffee, or even some of your energy drinks in small amounts, or your other caffeine beverages. This is the time that I would have that if I chose to have it. I personally don't like having caffeine because it's a stimulant and it gives you that jittery wakefulness that is not really the way I want to feel. It also tends to make the heart race and it can elevate your blood pressure. So if you're drinking coffee, you may want to check your blood pressure. Make sure you're not pushing yourself into hypertension. Try to get a little bit of sunshine in the afternoon if you need to wake up. Do some movement and don't forget to stay hydrated. And if you have access to a rebounder where you're jumping, some people call them trampolines, jumping for 5 to 10 minutes, that can also help wake you up. Have lunch at a set time. This is going to help regulate your body rhythms, and choose something that you enjoy but won't put you asleep. So that's going to be something with a limited amount of carbohydrates in the afternoon. If you want to eat carbohydrates, you may want to have them a little later on in the day or not too early in the morning because your cortisol level is very high anyway. But a little bit of lunch at a regular time will help set your rhythms. If you find that you need to have a nap, then try to take your nap before 4 o'clock or 3 in the afternoon. I like before 3 in the afternoon. If you take it too late in the day, it's going to interfere with your nighttime sleep. If you take it for longer than 15 to 20 minutes, then that is also going to interfere with your nighttime sleep. If it's available to you, you can do caffeine and a nap. And if you do those together, they work really well. And the way you do that is you have your caffeine beverage and then you go take your 15 or 20-minute nap. And while you're napping, the caffeine will be getting absorbed and on board into your system so that you'll wake up even more refreshed. If you do this earlier in the afternoon, then it won't interfere with your nighttime sleeping very much. You won't notice it. Try to get a little exercise, something during the day. It doesn't matter if it's aerobic, walking, or dancing, or Zumba, but a little bit of exercise helps. And aerobic exercises tend to help you more with falling asleep. But if you want to do weight training, exercise, it's good to get exercise in. You don't have to spend money on a gym membership. Just go outside and do some walking or walk wherever you can, exercise at home, turn on some videos, but get some movement in. This is going to help you with going to sleep later on in the evening. Have your meal somewhere between 4 and 7 p.m. should be your last meal of the day. If you eat too close to bedtime, that interferes with some people's sleep because your body's trying to digest that food and it can give you problems with gastric reflux. Also, be conscious of what you're eating late in the day. If you know spicy foods give you reflux or heartburn, then you may want to eat those earlier in the day and not late at night. Choose your beverage with your evening meal carefully. Now, I practice in the deep south of the United States of America where sweet tea is queen. And I don't know very many people who don't enjoy a glass of sweet tea, especially on a hot summer day. It's okay to have your sweet tea, but try to have it earlier in the day and have your tea earlier in the day and choose another beverage in the evening time. I personally like to just drink purified water with my dinner, and I don't drink it at the same time of my meal because I want the food to be digested with those enzymes and not diluted by the water. But we need to make sure that we're not dehydrated, and you don't want to hydrate yourself close to bedtime. In fact, if you stop drinking water about 90 minutes before bedtime, you'll be less likely to wake up because you need to go to the bathroom to urinate. Let's talk about the evening activities. If you are having arguments, try to have those earlier in the day because if you argue right around bedtime or close to bedtime, even if it's just with yourself, you won't sleep well. Arguing does not turn on your parasympathetic nervous system. It turns on your sympathetic fight or flight system, which will keep you awake. You want to be calm in the evening. That also could mean you don't want to watch television right up to bedtime, especially the news. That's going to have a couple of effects. The light is going to block the natural flow of the increase in melatonin that happens in the evening, and it can make you upset. So you may want to watch the earlier edition of the news instead of the late edition. Try to engage in activities of planning for the next day in the evening so that you're not awake at night trying to figure out, oh, I forgot something. I have a big meeting tomorrow. What am I going to do? Do that earlier in the day. I personally like to do work activity and planning right at the end of my work day and not bring work home. Try to make sure that the bedroom is going to be conducive for sleeping. And for me, that means unplugging all of the electronics, including my cell phone. The cell phone has electromagnetic fields that could interfere with the brainwave activity of some people, and this could be disrupting your sleep. So keep your cell phone charged somewhere outside of the bedroom. I also remove all electronic devices except for a small clock that I turn away from me so I'm not doing any kind of clock watching. But I like to have it so if I do wake up, I might want to see how much time I have to get ready for wherever I'm going to go. I don't usually wake up to look at the clock to see if it's 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I have a feeling when it's time for me to wake up because I've done this for a while, and your body will get adjusted as well. But removing the electronics out of your bedroom, the television, the radio, the phone, your laptop, your desktop, your electronic games, this is going to help you to relax. It's going to take away the blue light that interferes with the production of melatonin. Make sure you have a comfortable room temperature. Now, I like the room to be slightly cool. I like it to be somewhere like 70, maybe 69. I don't like it to be too cold, but you'll find a temperature that's best for you. Have a comfortable mattress. If you haven't gotten a new mattress, it's not in your budget, your mattress may need to be adjusted, like flipped over if it's finished on both sides, or just changed around from side to side so that you can get a more comfortable place on the mattress. If you have sheets, make sure that you're washing those sheets. I like to wash the sheets like at least every few days, and definitely by the end of the week. And that's because not only do you get body cells on it, but you can collect dust mites regardless of how clean you keep your environment. Dust mites can accumulate, and these can cause some allergies and cause you to wake up at night. So I like to take those things off the bed, including the pillowcases, regularly so you have fresh sheets. I like to ventilate the room. I like to have good circulation in my room, so I keep a window open. Now, if that's not something available to you, you want to do what you feel is safe for yourself. Also, if there's allergens, pollen that's coming into the bedroom, you may need to close the window. I don't use white noise, but if you need some, then a small fan may be helpful. Make sure the room is not too cluttered. Sometimes we're trying to sleep in a room that is just not comfortable because we haven't taken time to organize it. I like to get good air quality, and I do that with plants and a room air purifier, and as well as keeping my windows ventilated. Now, I'm not in an area that's heavily polluted. If you are, you want to close the windows and use your air purifier as well as some plants. And a plant that you can find at a local store that could do a good job of cleaning the air is an aloe plant. I like to do my nighttime prayers. I believe that prayer helps me relax. Some people use it as a form of meditation. So I always pray before I try to go to sleep, and I like to practice gratitude. Just being thankful for what happened during the day. Doesn't have to be a big thing, just that you made it through the day, that you had a good day at the office or the work, that you had a job to go to. Practicing gratitude will stimulate parts of the brain that help to release serotonin. Serotonin is a hormone that will improve your mood and help you with going to sleep at night. I like the room to be very dark, and sometimes I put on an eye shield. I do like to have blackout curtains at the window, but I like an eye shield because I live and I sleep with an owl, and that's a person who likes to go to bed late at night. And my husband's also a short sleeper. So if that's your case, you may need to put on an eye shield so that you can create a dark environment for yourself. And then I like to just stretch out, do my deep breathing exercises, and drift off to sleep. Now, if you are trying to go to sleep, it will probably be more difficult because you cannot make sleep happen, but you can relax and sleep will happen. If you want more tips on how to sleep better, join the 3-day sleep intensive. If you missed it at the time that you see this video, go to my website, drhamiltonstubbs.com, and see if we're not offering it again. We plan to offer this program, the 3-day sleep intensive, several times during the year. I hope this video has been helpful to you. If it has, give me a thumbs up. And if you know someone who could use this information, be sure to share that with them. And if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to do that. I'd love to have you join my YouTube family.